Hey, you ready? We are going out. We're gonna put all the stuff we want to take with us in this amazing bag. This week appreciation posts are right here. Have a look at each account that you see here, and if you want to be featured here, just make sure you share my design that you made on your story or your feed on Instagram, and I will share your work here next week. Alright, let's get into it. So for this project, I choose this Raffia yarn. It's a paper yarn, and I got this from Perfect Yarns. I have 5 skeins. You can have a look on the screen right now how many skeins I use in total. And I have this handle. It's come when you order the handle, of course it come in 2 handle. And I already start this one. I'm gonna show you on this one how I started. And later on, once we finish the whole thing, we're just gonna sew both parts together. So yeah, for the wooden handle, this one is 9 inches or 23 centimeter diameter. You can get smaller one, or you can get exactly the same one. You can write to Perfect Yarn. I put the link in description box below. You can tell them that you are from Maya Luna Corazon tribe, and the owner will ship everything out super fast. We have that deal that everyone who comes from my video will get the fast shipping. And yeah, I use hook, 6mm hook. You will need also 2 stitch marker and a pair of scissors. Alright, I'm just gonna, now in this moment, I use the tape measurement to make mark. You can also use the ruler, and I use the pen to just make the mark. I will show you how I do it. As I already started on this one, we have to make it exactly the same part, because they have to be identical. So actually now I don't need this tape measurement anymore, because I already have my first one as the, how to say it, the sample. But once you do your first one, you just use the tape measurement to find the point you want to start your stitch. I actually do like this. I leave from the hole here to here around 1 inch. So it's here. And then you will need to make a little mark here above to know where to start and where to stop. Alright, like I said, now I already have this one. So I just gonna make it like this, approximate like that, right? So that we know where to start and where to stop. First, you make a slip knot. So I make the slip knot. I found it's a little bit challenging to start the first round, because you have to hold the hook in just a way. So you take the hook like this, and then I just use my left hand to help with taking the yarn in. Then I take the yarn from here and again do that, going to the hook like so, and then I pull. This is my first stitch right there. And then I want to make sure is on the line, you see, where I have the mark. The first one is very important. You want it to have very tight and stay in shape. So here, for you, we're going to make, this is like one, it's kind of single, it's kind of chain, because we need to have, you know, the foundation around the holder. So I don't know, this would call chain though. Yeah, I'm going to make 53 because I want to, the first, yeah, I explained a little bit. In this side, I want to make from here to here 17 plus 1 stitch. That's where we're going to do the pop stitch here. So 17 chain plus 1, 17 chain plus 1, 17 chain. total is 53 chain, right? So we're going to do 53 chain on our first round around the wooden handle. I have already one. I actually don't move my hook up and down because this is a paper yarn and I try my best to be gentle with it. And you see this, the mark we did in the beginning, so I make sure the first chain stay there. So what I do is I take the yarn down and I go behind the hook, now over the hook, now take the yarn again, and this time do the same over the hook, then I use the hook to pull through. Now second chain here, okay, do it again slow, take the yarn from under, go under the hook, over, take the yarn from here again, go over the hook, and now pull through loops. See how many yet? 3. I show you again. You take the yarn, you take the hand, go into the hole of the handle, take the yarn. If you find the easier way to do, please do. This is just the way that I do, okay? Go under the hook and then over the hook. Make sure that your hook is kind of in this position. And then again, take the yarn from here, pull through. Now, you see, it's so important that the first one is tight. I kind of like put the wooden handle against my body and in order to, you know, make it tight. So now we are good to go. And make sure it's stay from the marker where you mark where to start. Now continue to make 53 chain. 53. So it's like exactly on the mark that I put it there. But look, I never worked with this yarn before and it's paper yarn. I pull it too hard and it's break. So I just make a simple knot and later on I will, you know, use the yarn needle to put it inside. But just careful, okay, because this could be a disaster if you already work a lot of rounds and then it's break. As you can see here, my first one, I also pulled too much here and it's break at the beginning. So I just order the glue, transparent glue, to later on glue them like that, you know, because I don't want to start over again. I already add the stitch marker. You see here, so from the first stitch to here 17 and the number 18 I add the stitch marker, then I count again next to it. From here to here is 17 stitches and number 18 I add the stitch marker again, and count from here to the last stitch is again 17 stitches, and all together is a total of 53 stitches. Now for row 1, chain 2, and we're going to work or use the only stitch or the whole piece is half double crochet. Even on the puff stitch we also do kind of, I don't know if that would call half double crochet, but I will show you how I do it. So the first row, I think this could call first row now, and this is like a chain round that we just did. So make sure you don't miss anything because this one is our first one. Hook the hook there. A little bit hard actually to do because I never done the bag with the wooden handle before. It's a bit challenging. So you do the half double crochet just like usual half double crochet. 1. I try not to pull the yarn too strong because I already mentioned why. It's a little bit awkward position to work with, but yeah, possible. 2. So I'm just gonna add half double crochet until I meet the stitch marker. And so here I arrived to the stitch marker, and this is what we're going to do something different. Remove your stitch marker. In that stitch, we're going to add half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet into the same stitch. And then you just continue with half double crochet until you get arrive to the stitch marker again. It's a bit difficult to film and crochet at the same time. I'm saying that all the time, right? But this time is for real because of the wood. If you're working on this piece, you will understand what I'm talking about. It felt like the hook is gonna break. But no. That's why I choose this hook to work on this project. Because this tulip hook, it will never break. It's very strong. Alright, continue until you get to the stitch marker. Alright, now we are here again, the second stitch marker, remove it. Now we're gonna add 1 half double crochet, chain 2, and the same stitch 1 half double crochet. Now just add 1 half double crochet in each stitch across to the end of the row. The last one is look so small, the stitch. Okay, we made it. Whew. All right. Our first row is done. Should have something like this. The second row hopefully gonna get easier. I'm not using the stitch marker anymore, but if you want, you can add the stitch marker back, because for me, I can see, you know, this different. It looks different than the rest. So for row 2, chain 2 to build up the yarn. Turn our work. Now we're just gonna do the same. Add half double crochet. This time it's easier now because yeah, not so close to the wood. Now just add 1 half double crochet in each stitch across until you get into where we did the special stitch, like half double crochet, chain 2 half double crochet. When you get there, we gotta do something different this time. So go ahead, add half double crochet and stop in the last one before you get to that stitch where we do different before. Don't forget now this number 17, quite close to that stitch. 17. Okay, here in that chain 2 space, we're going to add puff stitch. And I'm doing this. I think puff stitch has many ways to do it, and this is how I do. You just yarn over, go to chain 2 space, yarn over. Now you have 3 loops. Again, yarn over, going to that chain 2 space, yarn over. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, chain 2. And again, that same chain 2 space, we're going to do the same thing. Puff stitch 1 time, 2 time, yarn over, pull through all loops. Alright, and create this little pretty puff stitch. And now you're going to add half double crochet until you get to this point again, and we're gonna do the same. So we do some increasing already, because if you count the stitch, you will see that in this portion we are increasing. All right, we're about to go to this chain to space again. Okay, I wanna this one is a little bit, I think if you use just the normal yarn will be easier, but I really like the look of this paper yarn, just to make sure that when the loop is too big you can't adjust later. So you have to make sure that it's in the, you know, the size that is tight enough and not too loose. Yeah. Get easier after some rows. Oops. Chain 2 and again puff stitch. When you do puff stitch, you can pull a little bit up so that your puff stitch looks like obviously puff stitch. And easier also to pull through all those loops on the hook. Alright, you did it! Now we're just gonna half double crochet in each stitch until the end of this row. Our last one. All right. Okay. You should have something like this by now. And from now on, you're just gonna repeat row 2 for the whole work until we have to do something different, and I will show you what the next step. But for now, just continue. You see, this is just a repeat of row 2 over and over again. The work will naturally increasing by itself because of this stitch over here. You know, we always have extra stitch every row. So yeah, repeat row 2. I have made a total of 26 rows. Now we're going to do something different. We're going to, instead of half double crochet, from now on we're going to do the same but using double crochet in 3, because this is how we do the beginning chain to build up the yarn when we do double crochet. Go ahead, add 1 double crochet in each stitch across until you come to the last one, and we do this one together. Okay, this is our last one before we go into this chain 2 space. In the chain 2 space, we actually do exactly the same thing. The only difference is that we're going to, when we do the puff stitch, we're going to pull a little bit higher. It has to be the same level of our double crochet. So now it's 1, 2, now yarn over, pull through our loops, chain 2, and again to that chain 2 space, we pull our yarn higher to the same level of our double crochet, and then we continue with double crochet stitch. Don't skip this one. This is the first one we're going to do the double crochet. And now we just continue with double crochet stitch until we get into that puff stitch chain 2 space again, and you're going to do the same thing, and then continue with double crochet until the end of the row. One thing that you need to do while you are crocheting already on the way to come to where we are now, the work is going to kind of wanting to fold in, because we don't increase so much, we just increase a little bit here, and the yarn is depend on what material you use. For this raffia yarn, it's fold a lot, like kind of shrink, so I have to keep pulling two part here where is the puff stitch to like stretch them out, as well as on the side, because I want the whole thing to be flat, you know. So you have to pull it out and make sure that your work is flat. Yeah, that is the thing you have to keep in mind. So now continue with double crochet and then do the same here and end here. I meet you here so I can tell you what comes next. So we done our row 27. You see it's curled like this. This is what I'm talking about, that we have to pull. So row 28 to row 30, 28, 29, 30, you will repeat row 27, this row of double crochet, and then I show you on row 31 because we're gonna do something slightly different again. So I am about to do the last row with you. I have been stretching this a lot to make it flat with chain 1. So after chain 1, just add 1 single crochet in each stitch until you get to right before the puff stitch. Here is the last stitch for single crochet, and now in this chain 2 space we do the puff again. 1, 2, yarn over, pull through all, chain 2, and again another puff. All right. And here is where we're going to do different. So from here on, we're going to add double crochet. So it's different from the side. Now in the center part, you know. And do not miss this one. Sometimes this stitch is a little bit hard to poke. You can do this just to make the stitch easier to work in by just poke the hook like I just did before. And here we go. Now we can do our double crochet. And now you're just gonna add double crochet in each stitch across. So keep doing that until you get to the puff stitch again, and you will do the same with the puff stitch in that chain 2 space like you always did. So we start with single crochet here, we did the puff in that chain 2 space, then we continue with double crochet here, And now we already did the puff. Now we're gonna end this side with single crochet. Chain one to secure this. If you want to use this part to connect, then you will leave the yarn on, but I will use the other side to connect, and I will tell you why. So now I'm just gonna cut the yarn, chain one and cut the yarn, and I will wrap this in our okay. So here is the look of the whole thing. My table is quite small, but you see how it looks, right? And I'm going you're going to make the same one more panel. I already have one, and I'm going to use this one. I have the yarn still hanging on here because I'm gonna connect with, we will see, slip stitch or single crochet. We'll have a look. But I use this side because to connect, I want to face the right side or the outside together and connect from the inside. This one should be the inside or the wrong side because we want to connect from here. I choose this one to be the connector because this part is my inside. You know why? Because I have some glue going on here. You see here? Because the paper I pulled too hard, and then I used the hot glue and then have some white, so I want this to be the inside. And now I'm just face them together. When you face them together, just make sure that there are matching corner and corner, because we're going to connect from this corner over here. Here I already make one chain, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to poke the hook to this stitch, the first single crochet from here, and now I'm going to the other panel into both loops to single crochet from there. Then I pull the yarn through, then I make single crochet here. So I decided to do single crochet, and now just continue like that. Put the hook here in front panel, and then going to the one at the back, and again go through loops, go through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, now single crochet here. This is what we are going to do until we get into puff stitch, and then we see what we're gonna do there. To the chain 2 space, I'm going to add just in that chain 2 space, also on here the other side, 2 single crochet into that chain 2 space. 1, 2. Now we move to this one, this stitch next to it. Now we're just gonna add single crochet, okay, along here until the end. Like when you come to here again, this is our second line of this puff stitch. So you go inside directly in that chain 2 space, and then add 2 single crochet there. And now going to this stitch. Make sure you don't miss anything, and continue with single crochet to the rest of the row. Looking good so far. last stitch. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. I'm going to wave this end in, wave the ends on both sides. I think I might just go here to close it a little bit. And wave in. I'm still in the same place where I was before, like the inside, right? So I'm just gonna go into this corner stitch here, corner, and I'm going to poke in this the chain 3 at the beginning of the other one as well, because I wanted to have a nice close up closing. So I do it again here. Now I feel like it's better close. I think it's good now. This one I'm just gonna do the same way in the other side, this one. And if you have any more end like I do, just wave them in and let's see the results together. All right, after sewing everything, now it's time to turn our bag. Like before we were sewing from the inside, right? Now we take it, put the inside, really inside, and now we can see how the outside look. Ooh, how neat is this? And the bag turned out so big. Love it. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna hold in my hand. First, I want to show you how big our bag. So this is our bag. So big. Look inside. Woo, we can put a lot of stuff inside. The beach bag, and I don't have to close it. I'm just gonna put towel and swimsuit and clothes that when I'm going to the beach, or even just, you know, going to the market. How cool is that? What do you think about this design? What do you think about this piece? Do you like it? Oh, I love it. Also, thank you so much, Perfect Yarn, for sponsor this material. Send me over this Raffia yarn. I love it. It's the first time I'm working with this yarn, this paper yarn, and the wooden handle also pretty cool. So I will leave the link below in the description box. If you want to get the same yarn, I will list also the color, so you can get the same thing, the wooden handle and the yarn. All right, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the upcoming video. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you.